it's Presley at ActOutGames.com here, and today I'm doing a review of the Dragon in the Sock Drawer. So this is probably an obscure book to you that you haven't heard about, most likely. This was recommended to me by a friend. She really likes dragons, so she might have just been looking in the dragon section of the library. Me and her really like dragons. So she might have just been looking in the dragon section of the library and found this book, or by chance she found this book somehow. But she read it. She said it was really good. She was listening to it on audiobook. I actually physically read the book, which allowed me to finish it in like one night. It's really, well, I finished it in 2 days because I didn't have much time to read this as I'm busy with daily vlogging and quite a few other things. But I could have read this in a single night. Like if I had a night, couldn't sleep, I could have read this whole book. It's like one of those books which you can just read in a night. This is the first book in the series. They're out of 6. The second one is called The Dragon in the Driveway. The third one is called The Dragon in the Library. The fourth one is called The Dragon in the Volcano. The fifth one is called The Dragon in the Sea. And the last one, which is the 6th one, is called The Dragon on the North Pole. Those sound pretty interesting. Like, it goes from, the dragon goes into the sock drawer, then into the then into the driveway, then into the library, then into a volcano, and then into the ocean, and then into the North Pole. That's a bit of a fast growth cycle for a dragon. Well, I suppose dragons grow fast, but those sound pretty interesting, and I really hope we can find The Dragon in the Driveway soon, because these are really good books. And I first didn't know there was a series. There is a series, and I'm happy about that. So the first sentence, like I said, says a whole lot about the book. So the first sentence is, on the first day of summer, Jesse, his cousin Daisy, and his Uncle Joe went to High Peak. So that explains the first part of the book. They're at High Peak, and then at High Peak, Jesse finds the Thunder Egg. And once he finds the Thunder Egg, he takes it home and it hatches into Emmy, the baby dragon. And then he has to figure out how to feed it, not how to food it. Emmy likes food. Most of the time in this book, you will be hearing Emmy, you will be reading Emmy, or hearing, depending, Emmy say, food, because she likes food, and she's really hungry, and she's a baby dragon. Baby dragons like food a lot. So you'll be reading or hearing, depending on if you're listening to the audiobook or reading, food with like 3 billion O's. She screams food a lot. And it seems she likes food high in calcium, I think it is. So she eats limestone, which she's not supposed to do. And she eats eggshell, and she eats quite a few things. She eats Tums. That's one of her favorite foods. Which is strange, because one of my favorite foods used to be Tums, like seriously. Once a friend, this was when I was like 3, asked me, what's your favorite food? And I said Tums, because they're really good. And they helped me when my stomach was sick. Probably not, I just like the taste. So I'm going to read you some quick descriptions of the characters. So there's Jesse, who I've mentioned. He's the main character, and he found me a Thunder Egg. And when he found the Thunder Egg, he heard it go, Jesse, let me out, Jesse. Something along those lines. It was like, let me out. And it would go, Jesse. Which sounds, I don't know if I even have a friend called Jesse, but if I was locked in an egg, a geode, and I needed to find, and I knew someone named Jesse who was probably going to let me out, I would go, Jesse! Jesse! That's what I would do. Emmy kind of sounds like me. But he heard that, he found the egg, so. And then there's Daisy, which is his cousin, and she heard, and when Uncle Joe, which is Jesse's uncle, Daisy's dad, I think, tries to open up the geode because he doesn't think it's an egg. It seems like the geode is screaming, and Daisy heard that screaming. And there's Emmy, who hatches from the egg when it's put in a sock drawer, hence the title, Dragon in the Sock Drawer. So she's put in a sock drawer, and later it really smells like hot chili peppers, and there's an explosion, and that means she hatched. That means she hatched from the egg, so she hatches, and she likes food, like I mentioned. That's something you're going to be reading or listening to a lot, is food. She likes food. She likes food with calcium. I think it's because the dragons need that to grow. It is because the dragons, I'm pretty sure baby dragons need that to grow, is calcium, so they eat food with calcium. And there's this whole extravaganza when they're trying to figure out what to feed it. She throws out everything on everyone's faces, and it's not easy to learn what to feed a baby dragon unless you go to foundadragon.org. And then there's St. George, which I forgot his name, so I almost called him Mr. What's-His-Face. St. George, who Emmy calls the bad man, but the bad man wants to capture Emmy and drink his blood, so he keeps living for centuries to slay dragons and drink their blood. I guess he wants to live forever, like Miss something from Tangled. I think he might want to live forever, which is like the girl from the Miss Gretchen. I'm calling her Gretchen. I don't think she's called Gretchen. Mother Gothel, like Mother Gothel from Tangled. I think he might want to live forever, so he tries to capture dragons and drink their blood, or maybe he wants to live forever to kill dragons so he can live forever. Don't know about that. I think he just wants to live forever. And I'm really tempted when I get back, finish shooting this video, to go upstairs, go on my computer, and look up foundadragon.com and see if that's actually a website. It's probably no magical talking computer screen guy, but maybe it's a website. That's a fan website for the Dragon in the Sock Drawer. Who knows? I will look that up in just a minute. Jessie and Daisy are wonderful characters. They're well written. Their character is really well developed in only 159 pages. The character is well developed, and everyone's character, Emmy's, Jessie, Daisy's, all of their characters are pretty well developed, and you kind of get to know the characters. In fact, I almost cried at some point in the book, which you know it's a good book if you almost cry at a sad part. So, it's a good book. It might just be me because I really can get sad. I get attached to things really quickly, so I'll get really sad if it has to go or something. So that's probably why I cried. I don't know if it'll make all of you cry, but it made me cry. And then it's like, okay, this is a good book. This is definitely good. So I really like this cover art. At first, if you're looking at this, it might look like there's a dragon on Rapunzel's shoulder. This purple, and then this is her hair and stuff. That's kind of what I thought for a few seconds, and I started reading it. It's in a sock drawer, obviously. But it's in a sock drawer, and Emmy is coloring with her favorite purple sock in the sock drawer. And that's a really good representation of Emmy. It's adorable. I love this style of drawing dragons. I don't draw dragons this way. I don't actually really draw dragons at all, but I don't draw them this way if I was going to draw them. But it's adorable. It's so cute. I love it a lot. I definitely recommend this to someone who wants to maybe not read a big series like Harry Potter. Well, it's still quite big because it has 6 books, but it's shorter than Harry Potter books, as you can see. It's only 159 pages, which is just making me freak out. Why not 160? Write one more page, please. Please. So that was my book review of The Dragon in the Sock Drawer. A great book for one that you probably never heard of. I really hope the series becomes a big thing in the future, like Harry Potter, The Dragon Keepers instead. It's called The Dragon Keeper series, by the way. So I really hope this becomes a big thing. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.